96.3 WHUR, all music of the culture that sounds like Washington. It's the Nina and Joe Afternoon Show with the hilarious George Wilborn sitting in for Joe Claire while he's on vacation. And joining the show, we have someone very special to the city. He's a true change maker, the CEO and co-founder of Good Projects right here in Washington, D.C., creating pathways out of poverty for families in the district and beyond. He's a Georgetown grad, Forbes 30 Under 30 honoree, a Muhammad Ali Humanitarian Award winner. He's invested millions into underserved communities. He's the vice president of DC Young Democrats, and he is well connected to the streets, specifically our youth. How close are you to the youth in DC?
I'm with them every single day. I've been blessed and honored to serve as the executive director of Good Projects since 2016. And since the day that we started with this work, I've had the opportunity to engage with young people at every level of our city, folks that are transitioning out of the juvenile justice system, young people that are on the right track, getting all A's in schools, the young to the old. I've been blessed to be able to see it all when it comes to young people in the city.
Let's just have a real conversation.
I thought that's what we were here for today.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I'm not denying that crime is down 30-year low, that it's down 26%. But it's really disheartening, Darius, when I scroll on social media every single day. And I promise you, it'll be on the national pages. It's not like Washingtonian problems. It'll be on the Shade Room. It'll be on Hollywood Unlocked. And I see young Black folks in D.C. being reckless. Like, what do you say to that image that's going viral?
DC is on the right path. Crime is down across the district in every ward. And that's been because of the hard work of a lot of great community organizers, a lot of police officers, firefighters, politicians. Everybody has been working across the city over the last 2 decades to rebound from what we saw was the 90s DC that I grew up in, that not many of us could have been proud of. But to that same point, it does not matter if crime is going down in the district and you walk out to your car in the morning and everything in your backseat is gone and you having to call Safe Light Repair. Right. People don't live on statistics. People live in reality. And as being someone that has the pleasure and honor of working in the Navy Yard Wharf corridor, I see it firsthand every single day. Although crime is decreasing, the effects of reckless young people and what that does to the image of public safety for our city is highlighted by some of the steps that the federal government has taken. We are at a turning point in this city where we are not just priding ourselves and hanging up trophies on the fact that we can say, all right, we're at a record low as it relates to things like robbery, homicides, and overall violent crimes. But we are at a point in our city, which is a very good point, to say that we are not going to tolerate crime, particularly violent crime, in any form. And it didn't take President Trump for us to get to that point as a city. One of the reasons why you've seen the DC Council and the mayor make such strong investments in the organizations like Good Projects and community organizations that are working with these young people over the last particularly 3 to 4 years since the pandemic.
You know, Darius, me coming from Chicago, being born and raised, but living in DC 3 separate times, we've seen involvement, in how the youth treat each other and treat the community. I got a little heat for using the term YNs yesterday on the air, but, for those of us who are in the loop, I'm not glorifying it, but I'm sure you know that there's a section of our youth that they act just like that, just young people who have no sense of community, no care for the elderly, no care for even younger people, and those are the type of young people. How do we get to them, and what do we do about that?
I cannot, by any stretch of the imagination, relate to a young person growing up in 2025. They have experienced everything that we've experienced while their brains have not fully developed over the last 10 to 15 years.
Right.
While at the same time having access to the entire world at the palm of their hands. Mm-hmm. I remember I laugh and joke with my lady more often than not. And I say, I remember the times when we used to be able to dance in parties. Imagine a world, take away the violent crime. Imagine a world where you have fear of dancing with a girl at a party because somebody might record you and put you on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's this constant pressure of young people to have to impress one another. And unfortunately, we're growing up in a time, you talk about living in Chicago, and a lot of this you hear stemming from things like around drill music, and I know that was very prevalent in Chicago.
Yes.
These young people are coming up in an era where, in order to impress each other, they have to engage in behavior that doesn't involve, okay, let me see how many girls you can get when we go down the gallery place, but let's see, I'm going to give you this gun and we're going to go do a drive-by and show me that you're the man. Or we're going to go out and look for our first victim and we're all going to beat them up. And if you don't get in this, you're not really my friend. I can't imagine that world, right? But that is the culture that they are growing up in. And that is not the fault of any one young person.
We're on with the one and only Darius Baxter, CEO and co-founder of Good Projects right here in Washington, D.C., talking about what is really going on with our youth in D.C. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. It's the Nina and Joe Afternoon Show on 96.3 WHUR.